going on, YouTube? It's your boy Trinity Wolf, and welcome back to another amazing Yu-Gi-Oh! Day episode. Before we get started, if you are new to the channel, please destroy that subscribe button. We are on the march for 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year, or Christmas, either or. And we're almost there, so I'd appreciate it if you guys destroy that subscribe button for me and hit the like button. And without further ado, let's get started. Round 1, my heroes versus Rika fairies? I mean, I guess I couldn't tell completely. It might have been other stuff. But as you can see, he's about to search for torrential tribute here. So I'm like, okay, well, I already have to play around this. I was like, man, I'm going to have to play against some weird floodgate deck. But he tried to tribute his Ash Blossom to summon his guy, but it says you have to tribute a plant monster. And then, Ash Blossom's a zombie, so basically just normal summon Ash is all you could do, and, I'm just going to pop off here. But at the same time, I'm like, well, I have a torrential tribute I got to worry about as well. What would have been critical is if he torrential tributed here, when I summoned the Violent, where I couldn't get my polymerization, but, as that... He torrential tribute my Wonder Driver, triggering Wonder Driver's effect, summoning my Spirit Neos out of my hand. I got my instant contact. I'm going to shuffle them in for Neos. This is exactly why I love the Spirit Neos. You'll see it later on where Spirit Neos completely saved me. But yeah, Spirit Neos is an amazing card. But pretty much you guys already figured out this is going to be a quick OTK. We even Fusion Destiny here at the end, and that's pretty much going to take on the game 1. But I like these short Yu-Gi-Oh! Day episodes because that just tells you these games are short and quick, which is really, really great. Because that's how heroes want to be. We want the game to be quick and sweet. We don't want it to be dragged out to game 3. We just want to give them a 1-2, and that's it. So I actually go first this time, surprisingly enough. Because I guess he thought of it as like, oh, he's an OTK deck, so he probably can't make a crazy going first board. But as you can see, we pop off here. We make my Sunrise, Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2, get my Miracle Fusion. We draw our 2 and discard a card. I think I discarded like a Hero Lives. I discarded another copy of Ferris, that's what it was. And then we're going to make DPE here as well. And then we summon Malicious. I did have a Mass Change, and I believe a Cosmic Cyclone face down. So he goes to set 1. Normal summons. I know they need to... I popped the normal summon because I was like, okay, well, let's not let him get started because I was like, okay, well, he had a tribute to plant last time. During the end phase, I Cosmic Cyclone, a torrential tribute, and, well, pretty much we just get to pop off here. I don't do any other summons. I just pretty much straight up go into the battle phase, use Sunrise to pop the other face down, and that's pretty much just going to be the game, you guys. Round 2, we are facing Dinomorphia. I get to go first. My hand was actually I don't remember my hand completely, but I don't think it was the greatest. As you can see, I had the Denier in my hand as well. I believe I had double Malicious in my hand too. So it was really, really rocky. So I really needed that Foolish Burial to go through, which fortunately enough for me, it did. We go into our cross, get our Liquid Soldier, fuse into our Sunrise, draw 2 cards and discard 1. The reason why Sunrise was in defense here, of course, I didn't know I was playing Dinomorphia at first, but I already had a Dark Angel in my hand as well. So for me, I was like, I'm gonna just give my opponent this Dark Angel and just see what happens, because I was like, because I didn't know what he was playing at first. So we go for our Miracle Fusion because like my board was not the greatest. So I was like, okay, well, they need to have as many things in here as possible. We actually fuse away the Sunrise and the Malicious for our DPE. We get DPE in the grave so I can give my opponent Dark Angel, and actually the Dark Angel did it for me. I guess he really needed a spell card to pop off, so he goes and sets 2. I mass change my Ab-Zero, wipe the board, and he just proceeds to game 2. He gets to go first game 2. Starts off with the Doodle Sego. I guess that's what it is. Getting the Doodle. Those cards are hilarious to me, but they're really good. And there goes that annoying Heavenly Prison card. So we Hero Lives here, getting our Stratos. So I get another Stratos for later plays mostly. So I'm like, okay, well, I can't destroy spells and traps. But here comes a summon limit down on me once Ferris hit the board. And then Heavenly Prison gets summoned. Pretty much when his turn starts, I use Increase, I'm sorry. To get my Vion out, just to get all my monsters in defense position. I was going to use Shadow Mist to search for Spirit Neos, but it actually gets called by the grave. So Shadow Mist unfortunately got negated there. So he switches his monsters into attack position. During damage calculation, I actually droplet sending Neos and Vion to make the Heavenly Prison and his Stego take. So he attacked and took some damage. I wish I didn't have to send my increase, but he could have just still ran over the Vion anyway with the other one. I normal Stratos to search, chaining Mass Change to make Blast, because he's going to use his Fusion Summon card here. His card comes out on my summon effect. I'm going to he made the wrong one, so I use Blast effect to half, I forgot which one I actually targeted to half, but then we chained his effect to bounce the summon limit to his hand, and that's pretty much just what's going to give me this game here. We cross Crusader for our Malicious. He Microcosmos, so I just wasn't going to use cross Crusader at all. So we go ahead and Fusion Destiny, getting rid of our, I think, Dark Angel and Plasma. No, Spirit Neos and the other Malicious, because, I mean, it's the other one on the field is going to get banished anyway. So we make DPE, and then I should have summoned it underneath Cross Crusader because I made Dread Decimator, but it doesn't matter because Dread Decimator was big enough, and since Heavenly Prison was low on, really low on attack, I was able to actually swing enough damage for game. On to round 3. It was against Branded Bestial. Pretty much, unfortunately for me, game 1 was my hand was bad, and then I had to break a double Masquerade board. What I realized about the play I could have done, which probably would have been better, when I had Neos on field, if I would have just used Instant Contact to do Sunrise, I probably would have had a lot easier time and used less cards to pay that. So, you know, I paid 12 for the Feather, I paid 12 for Stratos, paid 12 for End Shuffle, and then we paid the 1,000 and the 12 for Instant Contact. And instead of Flame Wingman, I should have done Sunrise, because the Stratos could have searched Ferris instead, and Sunrise would have ran over the other Masquerade, and I would have been able to do some plays because I had a Malicious in hand. And funny enough, when I drew a card for a turn, I drew the freaking Neos again after I end shuffled. So if I would have just done that better, but it was kind of stressful considering you know, having to pay 1,200 life for every card you activate. It makes your thinking, it threw my thinking off. So I just need to focus and just take my time because I could have won that game. But anyway, I get to go first. Game 2. I was gonna go for Plasma here. Let's see. We go our Wonder Driver, make our Sunrise underneath the Wonder, because I didn't know my opponent was gonna side like Nibiru or not. So, but Nibiru was pretty bad in the format. So, but I still don't question anybody side decking it or not. But as you can see, we Fusion Destiny here for dominance. I look at his top 5. I can't remember what I put on top, but as you can see, they're all monsters. And unfortunately, I had to fuse away my Sunrise to make my DPE. Yeah, we make DPE here, and that's pretty much what I had to sit with because I forgot I didn't have a way to get the Plasma I put back on top of the deck. He Ultimate Slayers here. I chain Call by, chain DPE, so that way I can protect my DPE. Dominance brings back 3 of my Destiny heroes, including Phoenix himself. He Ultimate Slayers again, but getting rid of my Wonder Driver. And he sends DPE to the grave, but DPE is going to come back anyway because I still have to resolve his effect on my turn to bring back a Destiny hero. So he runs over my board here, and now there's another Masquerade I have to deal with. DPE returns. I pay 600 for using the effect of DPE to pop. I was going to pop the Masquerade so he could waste the Branded opening. We Miracle Fusion into our Ab-Zero, drawing our 2, discarding a card. Normal Stratus to search for Honest Neos. We fuse for Trinity. and we crashed. I paid the 6 to use Honest Neos. He actually uses the Masquerade effect to bring it back, and pretty much has just won me the game just because being able to hit the same card twice for that massive amount of damage. So, game 3, he goes first, which sucked for me because I opened up no hand traps. No, I can't remember what I sided, but it was like no lightning storms, no cosmic, no droll. Because I know you can droll them, and it kind of messes them up if they get greedy. But I can't remember everything in my hand. So we start off with Fusion Destiny first. But I'm glad it was a Mirror Jade and not a, double Masquerade I had to deal with. So we make DPE right away. I gotta find some way to bait this Mirror Jade. We go from Malicious. We had a normal Denier. That's just what tells you how my hand was. We normal Denier to use his effect. He super polys the minute Denier hits board. Unfortunately, I lose DPE, but I will be able to bring it back by putting Malicious back. Cross. He actually tries to banish. He banishes the Cross with Mirror Jade, but considering that it doesn't have to go to the zones it points to, DPE was still able to hit the field. I was trying to fuse. Sorry about that. I was trying to fuse my cards in my hand to make Sunrise, but I forgot I Fusion Destiny there, so I'm like, oh well, yeah, I can't do that. So I'm just kind of stuck with his DPE on board, and pretty much just what's gonna get me this game, because I unfortunately lose this game, is time. Time pretty much gets me, because DPE actually starts to help me in this grind game here. Let's see here, because it's his turn. He's not going to be able to use Mirror Jade, so I don't have to worry about that. Funny enough, when he made the Lubellion, he actually didn't use its effect because he was using other cards. So he actually used I forgot what his name was, to make level 8s or lower, but Phoenix is a level 8, so he was unaffected. What would have got him game right here, because the card he super polyed for, which was that bird, he made it 0, and he would have been able to swing right here for a game, but because he made it 0, I was able to get another turn. DPE returns to the I actually used DPE's effect to return Denier to my field, and not DPE. We normal Shadow Mist for End Shuffle, getting a Stratos to the field, using Stratos to search for Liquid Soldier. Cross Crusader targeting the DPE again. He actually uses Mirror Jade to banish Cross again. I don't know why he did that again, considering it still came out the last time. We make Sunrise searching our Miracle Fusion, and we make Absolute 0. He changed the guy to make everything else 0, but so sadly enough, Sunrise was the only one who was unaffected. So I mean, he was affected by it, so he was 0, unfortunately. So we swing with DPE onto that. And I think I used Ab-Zero to swing on the bird there. You know what's crazy? I did the math. I bet I did the math on that wrong, because I forgot that his thing wouldn't be 0. We link off Ab-Zero away, which probably was a mistake on my part, because then he gets he's gonna get to wipe my board at the end phase. We use DPE to pop the Albaz, so he gets out. My board gets wiped. He gets a branded in red. DPE returns to my field. And pretty much what got me here was time, because his Mirror Jade wouldn't have been able to beat over my... he wouldn't have been able to beat over the DPE, but time was called, and that was unfortunately the end of the round. So, funny enough, this round against Skull Servants, because I was X1... when I saw what he was playing, I wasn't doubting what it could do at all, because I was like, okay, I lost only one game, so this should be crazy, because he was playing Skull Servants with the Ishizu cards, and that actually made it nuts. What saves me right here is that Spirit Neos you guys saw me add to my hand, because my board was going to be weak. The only reason my board was weak was because I have an increase in my hand, and that kind of just put my plays to a halt. The reason I made Absolute 0 instead of Sunrise is because I already had a Miracle Fusion, so I'd rather sit on a Ab-Zero. But he actually Final Destinies here, wiping my board, discarding his entire hand. Using Shadow Mist, I get Stratos. Then he gets his Ishizu cards to go off here. I mill 5, and then we're going to mill more cards. His Skull Servant cards trigger from getting sent to the grave. Milling another couple cards here, and then he's gonna pretty much summon a King of the Skull Servants on me. He summons 2 of them. They're both 8,000 attack. He was for sure he had game here, and I was like, you sure? The Spirit Neos came out saving my butt, because he can't be destroyed by battle. Pretty much that's what all I needed. Because just 2 monsters was, no problem for me to get over. We get our Neos out on the field. We Vion sending Shadow Mist to search for... I can't remember what we searched for. We actually searched for a Malicious, because amazingly enough, we didn't get a Malicious engrave at all. We instant contact here for Flame Wingman. And then we go for our Link play here. For Wonder Driver, Polymerization into Phoenix, using Wonder Driver to get our Miracle Fusion, activating it to make our Shining Neos, popping his board, and swinging for game, because Shining Neos was 6,100 attack. You gotta love it, guys. You gotta love it. Game 2, I go first. My hand was terrible. Card Destruction, I actually chained with that Dimension card, which saved my entire existence. He sets a card, I start my turn, I get to go off. We instant contact for Flame Wingman, linking it off. We get our search here for Vion, normaling Vion, sending it for Shadow Mist. I don't think we send Malicious so we can make DPE. Banish our Flame Wingman for Polymerization, because with the Miracle, with the favorite contact card, we can shuffle in the banished card, so it doesn't matter if Flame Wingman is banished or not. We make our DPE here under Dread Decimator. Here comes Malicious. Dread Decimator, since he does piercing damage, most of the Skull Servants have 0 defense, so he actually took a lot of damage from that. Phoenix and Malicious made their attacks, and that's pretty much all I could do for my turn, but we have 3 face downs, and yeah, he pretty much only has King of the Skull Servants. I gotta fancy it up. He declares an attack. I favorite contact into our Shining Neos, popping his board again, and that's pretty much just gonna seal the deal, you guys. So X1 at locals. I believe I'm prepared for regionals this coming. I don't think it's this week, but next week. If you guys like this video, please destroy the thumbs up button. Subscribe today if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next video.